Welcome to The Sound, KQAL FM's weekly behind-the-scenes look at Midwestern-made music. From writing and recording to distribution and promotion, The Sound is your source for new releases and exclusive interviews from Midwestern artists. Support for The Sound is made possible by a grant from the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Rolling.
My mama always said I would regret it if I ever got a tattoo.
Tonight on The Sound, we follow some rising stars through what's been an explosive musical journey for them over the past year. During the quarantine times of the COVID-19 pandemic, siblings Austin and Taryn Durry came together to write some of the hookiest hooks that we've heard in a while, seemingly cranking out tunes on the fly as their fan base grows and clamors for more. The band is Durry. They hail from Burnsville, Minnesota, and if you don't know them by now, you soon will. Some may already know Austin as the lead singer for Coyote Kid. Now, Austin has teamed up with his sister Taryn, his wife Ashley, and a handful of other super talented musicians to create the music you are about to hear. From a social media explosion to being on the bill of First Avenue's Best New Bands of 2021 to having Fred Durst as a superfan, well, they have had quite a year. Stick around because you don't want to miss this one. I'm Bill Stoneberg with Durry tonight on The Sound.
Another summer passes by like water through our fingers. Crow's feet creep a little deeper, creasing like a piece of paper. But origami never seemed so beautiful. Pack it in, give it up and let it go. You'll only be the winner of the losers club. That's what the cool kids say when the going gets too tough. I laugh it off, live it up and let it slide. I light a cigarette, try another time. What's the point of it if you never strive for more? But I'm not keeping score. We were once so young and dumb when the whole world seemed to notice us. We used to care so much about the pimples on our faces. No one ever told us it's the words that stay. We used to daydream about the things we've come to call mundane, always keeping our eyes fixed upon the next thing that we think we need. If only we could let the moment soak in. Pack it in, give it up and let it go. You'll only be the winner.
That was Losers Club by Durry out of Burnsville, Minnesota. And tonight we have Austin Durry, who some of you may already know from Coyote Kid. He's on the phone with us tonight. Austin, how you doing?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Pretty good, pretty good. Like we were talking a little before we started rolling here, we kind of weathered the storm last night, so to speak. There was a big winter storm here last night, so glad everyone is okay. It sounds like things are okay up your way, too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a lot of hype for just a couple minutes of
wind.
Weather.
Yeah. Well, it's always just a bunch of wind, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not just last night, but you guys have had quite a year, it sounds like, in addition to releasing some killer music, which we're going to hear more of throughout the show. You guys have also been selected as First Avenue's Best New Bands of 2021 for the showcase. Yeah.
It's been absolutely crazy. We, put out our first song just this last summer. So it's only really been a couple months, but yeah, it's all going crazy fast. Can't believe it.
Yeah. So how's that feel to be selected? I mean, you guys just started releasing this music this year and bam, you got selected for Best New Bands Showcase. How's that feel?
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, this whole thing has been, kind of just us trying our best making music that we liked, and it seems to be really striking a chord with people. So yeah, we're kind of along for the ride. Can't wait to see, what happens next and where things go.
Right, totally. Now, I saw you guys perform, I think it was around Thanksgiving time at 7th Street Entry, and you were wearing a Burnsville Blaze shirt. Will you be wearing that again at the showcase? I just want to know.
I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but that was a fun little callback.
Right. And it brings maybe an important point, maybe not important whatsoever, but how important do you think school spirit is in music?
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I more think of it as like, I feel like it's like a thing that everyone pretends that they're from whatever major city is around them, which makes sense. No one's heard of little towns, but also, a lot of people aren't from those places, and it's fun to, show that you can, make it from a small little suburb. You don't have to be in the coolest town. You know what I mean?
Right. I think that's kind of fun to see where people actually are from, because everyone's like, oh, there's a million bands from LA, but how many of them are actually raised and born in LA, and same thing with Minneapolis, St. Paul,
Yep.
So let's see. I also want to know, because online on like social media and stuff, it talks about how you and Taryn, now Taryn's your sister, right?
Correct.
Taryn Durry, Austin Durry. I have Austin on the phone right now. And you guys just started playing like during the COVID-19 pandemic, right? You guys just started working together, or have you kind of written music together when you were growing up, or how did that come together?
Yeah, this was our first time working on any kind of creative project together, actually. It started in quarantine. We were quarantined in the same house, and I was kind of just dinking around with new music styles and stuff like that while my other band was kind of shut down in COVID and everything. Just kind of started out with like her being like a sounding board, kind of just like me throwing ideas around and seeing what she thought of them, what was cool, what wasn't, and kind of just getting her perspective on things. And then that kind of evolved into a more collaborative writing process, and after a while we just kind of like, well, we're basically already doing it, so like let's just make it official and be a band,
Right, for sure. Well, it sounds like you guys have quite a spark together, because like I said, I mean, the tunes are just banging, just great songs, good hooks. So Durry came out of this, the band Durry, but I did notice on like Bandcamp and stuff like that, there's some things you released under the name Durry. One of them in particular, just because we're in the Christmas season, was Dear Santa. Like, is this something that's been in your mind to like do a kind of solo thing or something called Durry for a while now, or?
Yeah, so I started like a page and stuff called Durry, a couple years ago, just as like a solo thing to kind of just put up whatever like dumb songs I came up with on my own that didn't fit with Coyote Kid. Mm-hmm. Started out as a solo thing. In my band in Coyote Kid, we had 3 members named Austin.
Oh, wow.
And so that's why we all started going by our last name, and that's kind of how. So mostly in the music industry for the last decade, everyone has known me as Durry. Then it made sense to bring in my sister and all that, and so we kind of had to pivot away from that and just making it the band name now. So I've had to revert back to Austin now, but
right. Oh, cool. Well, let's get back into some tunes. Let's play some more music for people. Like I said when we were off the air, we're gonna just go in chronological order, and that first tune, Losers Club, that was put out in June. This next one, Hasta La Vista Baby, from July of this year, of 21. We'll just get right into it, and then we can talk about it when we come out of it. So I am here on the phone with Austin Durry from the band Durry. Some of you may already know him from Coyote Kid. And you are listening to it on The Sound on 89.5 KQAL. Here's Hasta La Vista Baby.
stable, and I know the shiny new good makes you feel tough. But this isn't like the movies that you know so well. Not everyone gets what they deserve. You've been watching television in black and white. Did you forget that this is the real world? I know I'm not the hero out there.
That was Hasta La Vista Baby by Durry. That's a brand new tune, well, out new this year. Durry is a new band from Minneapolis area, Burnsville specifically. And I have lead singer Austin Durry on the phone with us. Austin, so, that tune Hasta La Vista Baby, one of my favorites, but I have 6 favorites so far because you guys have 6 tunes released. But seriously, like the tunes all sound kind of introspective, like you're looking back at like I think a lot of common feelings people have about like growing up, especially if you grow up in a suburb or I guess even a small town or anywhere really. When those kind of realizations when you realize like you're not a kid anymore and life has moved on from all the like cliques and social things from high school and being a teenager, is that something that was conscious when you and Taryn started writing this stuff? Were you going for that, or is it just kind of what came out?
Yeah, when we first started writing this stuff, it was, like I was in a very like introspective time, and then bringing her in and kind of as we kind of dove through our shared life experiences and stuff, it kind of this kind of somewhat nostalgic but realistic look backwards kind of became a theme in the music. And yeah, we just kind of started. We kept on just kind of drawing from that shared experience in that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this song "Hasta La Vista Baby" was sorry about that. It was inspired by actually a like a Facebook fight that I got into with somebody.
Oh
wow. And they were being a real jerk about a bunch of stuff, and yeah, and so I kind of like poured out some frustrations in the caricature that I had made of them in this song, and it kind of ended up being kind of a examination of like toxic masculinity and like,
okay, yeah.
and, like, all the things that kind of go with the with that character that we kind of made in pop culture. I was imagining like Biff from Back to the Future a lot. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, totally. Oh, I can see it.
Peaked in high school, washed up football player kind of like thing. But yeah, so I took a lot of inspiration from that and incorporated it into the song. And it also talks about like, people that like, they view everything in like heroes and villains, and they
right.
think that they're a hero, and they they see other people as like the evil side and they're the good side, and like all those kinds of things, that narrow-minded approach to everything. And yeah, I was just kind of frustrated with those things, and made a song about it.
Yeah. I love those lines in the tune too, where you're like, I'm not the hero, and I bet you're not one either, and that we're both in the middle, because it's all more gray than that,
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, there was a whole cut portion of that song actually that talked about had some line that was like, the people, the ones you love to paint in a darker shade of gray.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think that's a really fascinating idea and easy visual concept to make that everyone seems to get.
Right. Totally. Oh, speaking of visuals, there's another line in that tune that I love too when you talk about you've been watching television in black and white, but baby, this is the real world. Oh man, you got some fantastic lyrics in this stuff, which I want to get to. But first, let's get into another song and we can talk more about the writing and stuff. But
really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to mention that line, watching television in black and white. The person that I got into a Facebook fight with, they were always posting these really like kind of misogynistic like old John Wayne clips of like old black and white cowboy movies that they loved, and that's kind of what I took that line from, and the whole cowboy shtick in there, and and all that's from that.
Nice. I love it when real life plays into stuff like that, you know. It makes some great art sometimes. Oh my. Well, here it is. Let's get into another tune. I'm on the phone tonight with Austin Durry, singer of the band Durry, and they have a bunch of new tunes out and some exciting stuff coming up. We're going to get into that in a little while, but here's their song Trauma Queen. You're listening to it on The Sound right here on 89.5 KQAL.
Are we forever destined to be another carbon copy? Forever tainted by the faults of our father's father's father. Can you believe that they were young ones? Can you see it in their eyes? The cold husk of the spark that died the moment you sparked to life. But I don't wanna just survive another branch of the family tree. Survive another try at apology. Survive another try at the life you didn't need. Survive just to be another trauma queen. Maybe it's the demons in our blood, or the monsters in our heads, or maybe there's something in the drugs that keeps us crawling back, beaten and bloodied and begging for more, knocking on death's front door. How are we ever gonna find our way back from the brink we started on? But I don't wanna just survive another branch of the family tree.
That was Trauma Queen from Durry, and I have Austin Durry from the band on the phone with us tonight. Austin, that tune, actually, we were just talking about some lines in Hasta La Vista Baby, but the tune Trauma Queen really has some of my favorite lines that you guys have, and I think they address like common themes that a lot of people grapple with, including like, I mean, from teenagers to adults, you know, when you're dealing with like family issues or things like that. And what inspires you to like write? Because, you know, like I was saying, you just have some great lines in this stuff, you know, like where do you draw that inspiration from?
Yeah, you know, Trauma Queen was, you know, like most of our songs are pretty like lighthearted, and Trauma Queen was like not.
Right.
But, you know, we try to keep it still like fun, you know, sounding at least, but like topic matter, not at all. Yeah, you know, that one was all about thinking through just like generational trauma and how, you know, parents mess up their kids and then the kids grow up and have kids of their own and mess them up the exact same way. And like kind of asking the questions of like, how do we escape that cycle, and how do we, you know, how can we heal generationally and stop just, you know, spiraling downward. Normally I try to like have some little upswing, some little glimmer of hope that, you know, sparks through the songs, but this one's kind of just asking the questions and kind of leaves it at that, because, you know, I don't have the answer, but
right. Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, I like that you said the tune isn't as happy and fun lyrically, like thematically, but you tried to make it sound more fun. And I love that. I love the feel of the tune. To me, it's almost like that gives it that little oomph of like kind of empowerment, you know, where you're like, oh yeah, I'm looking at all this stuff, but I feel, you know, like I am here. I'm going to change it, you know, like I think it comes through in the feel of the tune, you know. I think you guys accomplished that, so.
Awesome. That's great to hear.
Cool. Do you write, like, when you're doing this stuff, do the lyrics come first, or do you go for like melody first, chords? Like how does it all come together for you guys?
So usually, when we're writing together, I usually kind of bring like the bones of the song. I'll have kind of the concept and usually like a verse and a chorus written, and then we'll kind of come together. But I actually do almost the entirety of my writing while I'm driving. I will just drive with no music on, and I'll just go into my little mind palace, and just start thinking about stuff, and it's usually like the melody and the words really like come at the exact same time. And then I come home and figure out the chords and stuff kind of after, but like the melody and the lyrics are usually like really hand in hand, and kind of I don't think I could write one separate from the other,
Right. I think that's interesting. I really like that you write that way. I play a little bit myself, and I've had a lot of conversations, especially in recent times here, about there's a lot of people who write like on their instrument, like write on guitar or piano or something like that. And personally, I found that when you go for melody first in those like themes and concepts, the lyrics, it frees me up, because I only have so much knowledge on the guitar or the bass or whatever it is, but I've listened to thousands and thousands of songs, so it's like all that info is in my head. Do you find that it feels real natural just to sing and write that way?
Yeah, definitely. And my fingers on the guitar are much like slower and dumber than my imagination. I can move around and come up with any sound I want, and in a second in my head. But yeah, as long as I have a ton of like voice memos in my phone. If I come up with something I don't want to forget it, I'll just like whip it out and hum into it or whatever. As long as you gotta capture those ideas before they get away,
Exactly. Love it. Well, I am talking to Austin Durry. He's from the band Durry, and we're going to play through some more tunes that they have for you. And the next one here is Who's Laughing Now? Austin, I have to say, this tune is so damn hooky. Like, it totally blew my mind the first time I heard it. In fact, I came to the station right away and played it into the system and put it on the air. But yeah, because it is so good. Like I literally probably listened to it 10 times in a row the first time I heard it. But can you tell us a little bit about how this tune came together? Like, where was the inspiration for this one?
Yeah, so Who's Laughing Now is kind of an interesting story of how it all came together. I was driving one day and I just came up with those first couple lines of the tattoo stuff and everything, and I ended up, I came home. Taryn hadn't even heard it yet, but I was just like, this is good. I like the hooks and stuff, and I put up a TikTok of the song, and not thinking it would really be anything like crazy, because most of my TikToks got like 0 views, but this one went crazy viral. We like. Just the demo of it, and me and my little closet studio just like plucking away. And so we ended up, I called up my buddy that has a studio that we record at and said, like, this is going nuts on TikTok. We got to record it like now. And so he like cleared his schedule. We tracked for 12 hours the next day, banged out the whole song. I ended up going to another friend that's a tattoo artist, and they gave me the knee tattoo that became the album art. And, we took the album art photo, in the tattoo shop, like before we left. And then that night got the master back from my engineer friend and just posted it right to Spotify or whatever. And, the whole thing was like between the first demo idea to being up on Spotify was 3 days.
Wow.
And then the next day we recorded the music video in my parents' garage with like office lights taped to mic stands and like whatever, and edited that, posted it on like the 4th or 5th day, and then that one went like 500,000 views or something in the first week. Then we got on playlists and it blew up, and all of our numbers went crazy off of that one little demo. And Fred Durst, like, is a super fan, I guess, and he is like since day one he's been like following us and commenting on everything, and yeah, it's been a wild ride, but it's all thanks to this song.
Right? Talk about striking when the iron's hot. 3 days, huh? Wow.
Yep.
Wow. And then you made a video right away. Who made the video for that? I think I know, but I don't want to say if I'm wrong.
It was me.
Oh, was it you? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know if Treatum helped you guys do that, or because I know they've worked with you guys a little bit, right?
They have, yeah. We work with Treatum all the time. They're great. But that one was actually we taped my phone to a stick, pretty much. This yellow backdrop that we used for the other album covers, and we just did ourselves. I edited the whole thing that day, and yeah, it was crazy.
Cool. Well, when you got something hot, right? So especially if you're getting that kind of response, that is killer. Well, let's hear it. Let's let people hear it here. I'm talking to Austin Durry. He's from the band Durry, and we're talking about this next track here. Who's Laughing Now? I guess this is what started it all. The excitement, But anyway, here it is. This is Who's Laughing Now from Durry. You're listening to it on The Sound on 89.5 KQAL.
My mama always said I would regret it if I ever got a tattoo. She said I'd never get a job like I ever wanted one with that attitude. My dad said I had to learn to drive a stack shift, but every van I ever had was an automatic. My friends said someday I would make it big, but I'm still living in the basement. I'm just as broke as the day I was born, but I still make it work just like everybody else does. It's all just a cruel joke, and everybody knows there's no way out. Who's laughing now? The TV said that I would never get a girlfriend unless I had a six-pack and smoked cigarettes. Well, I've got a couple extra pounds and the hottest girl in town. She don't mind having a little more of me to go around. I'm just as broke as the day I was born, but I still make it work just like everybody else does. It's all just a cruel joke, and everybody knows there's no way out. Well, who's laughing now? Who's laughing now?
That was Who's Laughing Now from Durry, and I have Austin Durry on the phone with us tonight. Austin, so you talked about how quickly that tune came together from inception to the demo to like being on Spotify 3 days later. So is that how do you normally record stuff? Do you normally just demo it at home and then go into a studio, or do you do it all yourself, or how's it normally go down when you have time?
Yeah, normally when there's time, I make a nice solid demo at home with like my extremely amateur production value. Yeah, we make a demo. We make all the parts and all the synths and everything, and then we go into my friend's studio, Tangerine Recordings, and they make it pro, and we track all the drums and the vocals and all the instruments and stuff, and they make it take it to the next level.
Right.
One thing interesting about Who's Laughing Now too was the song was blowing up before I had finished writing it.
Oh, wow.
And so on the way to the studio, I actually is when I wrote the third verse, which is all about like the song blowing up. And it's like, it was a very meta thing of like who's laughing now, this like positive spin at the end of like, I just paid the rent making music with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a really unique situation where like I know this song is going to go off, so I can include a reference to that in this song. And yeah, it was really cool. It becomes more, more meta every day.
Right? Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. Talking about being in it,
Yeah.
Like when you demo stuff like that, does it, is that kind of part of your writing process, or do you know what I mean? Does it keep evolving as you're demoing it and rearranging
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I usually do like I'll come up with like a verse and a chorus, and then I'll demo that,
it?
and then like fill in the second chorus and the bridge from there.
Do you put that, I'm air quoting now, tape into the car and then drive around to add to it and write?
Yeah, usually the when I'm driving, there's no references. I just remember it. But
Oh, okay. I always find that interesting how things can evolve when you start laying it down and listening back
Totally.
to it, That is pretty fantastic. How about the band? So when you demo stuff like that, and then when you're satisfied with it and you take it into the studio, are you normally doing everything yourself, or you and Taryn, or is the full band with you? How does it go down in the studio?
yes, in the studio usually it's usually me most of the time, and then Taryn comes in and we work on the guitar and vocals together. And then I work out all the synths and stuff just with the engineer. And then usually, either me or the engineer will track bass. And then our drummer, a friend of mine, Dane, he comes in and lays it down super pro. And yeah, he always comes in and works really fast. And yeah, we can, like Who's Laughing Now, one solid day of recording, and we had a finished product. It was all pretty efficient, I think.
Right, totally. Don't you love drummers like that?
Yeah,
And then I also saw on social media the other day your bass player, Ashley, I believe, that she just started playing bass during the pandemic. Is that true?
correct. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she started. My wife. She started in the pandemic, and she's something that she wanted to do forever, but kind of always told herself that she couldn't. And then I was like, you should just try it anyway. And then she's like, I will try it anyway. And then she bought a bass and just started watching YouTube videos and yeah, now she's playing First Avenue main stage.
Right? Wow.
A wild ride.
I guess. A wild ride indeed. Just to let everyone know out there, I am talking to Austin Durry. He's from the band Durry, and we've been listening to some of their tunes they got coming out. I'm going to get into another tune here, and then I want to talk about kind of the future and what you guys got going on right now. So this next one is Dancing Alone, and again, this is from Durry, and you're listening to it on The Sound on 89.5 KQAL.
keep on getting dressed up with no place to go. With friends like these, who needs enemies? 'Cause we both know you didn't wanna go out, so you just suck it up and tough it out and put on a show. We both know you'd rather be dancing on your own. Oh, oh, dancing alone. I know you'd rather be.
That was Dancing Alone. That's from Durry, and I have Austin Durry on the phone with us tonight. So, Austin, like I was saying before, you guys have released 6 songs so far this year. And as I understood it before, I think I talked to you briefly before, there was to be an EP release called Suburban Legend, and now it sounds like the plan has kind of shifted and maybe evolving. Can you tell us a little bit what you guys have in the works there?
Yeah, so we wrote 5 songs originally. That was going to be the EP, Suburban Legend. And now we did a Kickstarter. It was just kind of going to be a small project, but it's expanded quickly, and now we have a full-length record that's ready to go. We're going to call the full-length album Suburban Legend instead. So that'll be out. We don't really know when yet, but we're hoping to make some deals and put it out hopefully this next year. And yeah, the original plan was just that EP. It's just expanded exponentially. We seem to have, more new songs to add to it all the time. So we're still kind of, forming it as we go. But I can tell you, we at First Ave, we're going to have our first physical music product.
Oh, cool.
We made a collection of the songs that are already out, and also a new song that comes out on the 7th, the day of the show, all collected onto a cassette tape that's going to be available at the show. Only 300 copies were made, so they're going to go fast. But yeah, so you can call that an EP if you want, but that's going to be available. The title of the EP is Welcome to the Losers Club.
Nice.
And that's inspired by our fans have started referring to themselves as the Losers Club, and so we're like, that's cool. We like that a lot.
Yeah.
So we're rolling with it, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I think we made a really nice little product with that cassette tape, so you can pick that up at the show at First Ave on the 7th.
Awesome. One question about that. That sounds killer. I love it. And just so everyone knows, Best New Band Showcase, it'll be Friday the 7th, correct? Friday, January 7th, so that's this Friday. Why a cassette tape?
Well, CDs are definitely dead, and vinyl is definitely expensive and takes too long.
Right.
And digital is boring. So
right. Yeah.
Save it is.
Totally. I have to tell you, a friend of mine bought a little boombox the other day, ordered one on Amazon, and it came with a blank cassette. And I have not held a cassette in my hands since, God, I don't know when, but I don't want to say it because it'll give away my age, I guess, Yeah, it's been a long time, so it was a really cool feeling. So that's a fantastic idea. I love it.
Yeah, I feel like cassettes are kind of due for a comeback. They're so so tangible,
Right.
And it's like it's small, but it's cool, and you can keep it on your shelf and know you contributed to something, and the technology of cassettes is insane. I don't even understand how it works, but it's cool to have a little piece of history, even if you're just streaming it on Spotify. I think it's a really cool thing to pick up.
Just to have, yeah, for sure. I think so too. And you can see the spine when you have them all on your shelf. Unlike records, it's hard to see each one.
Totally.
You can sit there and just kind of admire them.
Yeah. We put a lot of thought into the packaging for it. It's going to have there's an outer sleeve and an inner sleeve, and it's got a little booklet inside and a little fold out poster inside.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice.
Damn, awesome. That is awesome. So everyone, make sure you get up to the show this weekend, this Friday. What did you say, 300 of those are available?
Yep, correct.
Yeah, cool. So make sure you pick up your Durry cassette for the Losers Club. And I also saw recently that you guys have a show, now correct me if I'm wrong, that's coming up in Portland, Maine?
Correct, yep.
Yeah, how did that come about? What's going on there? It's just one-off, right? Just a one show?
That is kind of a mystery how that happened, but we've had people reaching out to us from all ends of the music industry, and one of them was someone putting on a show. They said that they really loved our band and they wanted to fly us out to play a show for them, and it's like a little showcase in town, it'll be our first time in Portland, Maine. It's going to be crazy. They're flying us out. They're treating us right. Really exciting time to be doing this stuff. So hopefully we'll have some people show up in Portland. We'll see. I know we have fans all over, but this will be the first time to kind of prove it.
Right. Totally. Austin, It has been a pleasure talking to you today. I'm here with Austin Durry from the band Durry, and so your tunes can be heard on basically all major streaming platforms. You have a Bandcamp account, stuff like that. Where can people find out about like show dates and future releases, get merch, stuff like that?
Yeah, all that stuff is pretty much just Instagram and Facebook and more Instagram than Facebook. We don't really post on Facebook anymore, but and TikTok, we're the most active on TikTok, and also Twitter, all the social media spots is pretty much where we are announcing things, we'll probably have a website soon, but we don't have one yet, so
right.
We'll get there soon, but
right. Everyone uses social media anyway, right? Yeah. It's the quickest way, I think. And then this last tune that we're going to play, you guys have a video for this. I want to get into that. And that was done, you said, by Nate Nelson from Treat 'em, correct?
Correct. Yeah. I worked on a bunch of videos over the years, and I had this goofy idea for this one to show us being terrible at sports, and it was all true.
It's great. I love it. I absolutely love it. That, and also I was wondering, like on Spotify, when your tune comes up, there's little kind of real quick clips, like little video backgrounds. Who's making those? Because those are really neat.
Yeah. Those are all a part of the, initial like marketing ideas that we had. So I'm editing all those, making all those myself.
Nice.
We took all the photos and videos, in our garage mostly, or wherever we can. Pretty much, we just have the paper, we put it up wherever, and that's the album cover. But we had this idea to kind of make the what's called a canvas, the Spotify canvas, as like a little animated thing, but make them be like a looped living version of the album cover, so you can kind of get a little more personality of each single and kind of expand the album cover to have more life to it.
Yeah, I absolutely love them. I think it's so fun. And then the video for Worse for Wear that Treat 'em did, I know you can find it on your Facebook page. Are there other places people should look? Maybe they can just look it up on YouTube, stuff like that?
Yeah, YouTube is the main spot.
Okay.
YouTube is kind of our main video place, but we post clips of it and stuff on TikTok and on Instagram and stuff like that. But yeah, YouTube's where you can see the whole thing.
Right. Sounds good. Well, big things, it sounds like, are in the works for you guys, and wish you guys the best. Like I said, fantastic tunes. 6 tunes so far. I have 6 favorites. So,
that's great. And then we'll have another one coming out on the 7th. The day of the show is our next single release.
Cool.
So,
is that the one that's on the cassette tape?
Yep, correct. The extra.
Awesome. Cool. Sounds good. Well, I'm here talking to Austin Durry. He's from the band Durry, and Like he said, you can find them on all social media platforms. You can find their music on all major streaming platforms, stuff like that. Get out to the show this Friday. They're playing the Best New Band Showcase at First Avenue, and they got a special little cassette tape there with a lot of goodies in it, it sounds like. So, Austin, pleasure talking to you. Absolutely love the tunes, and can't wait to see what you guys do next.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is the last tune we have to play for you guys today. This is Worse for Wear by Durry, and you're listening to it on The Sound right here on 89.5 KQAL.
I hate to be the one to break the news. This isn't like the world you grew up in and breezed right through. You always said to leave it better than you found it, but then you left it a little bit worse for wear. A little bit scared, a little unprepared, a little too self-aware. You always said it would get better when we're older. Now we're just big kids living in an old man's world. When's it gonna be our turn? Who's to say this is the way it's supposed to work? Or is it just a lesson we never learned? You've got the white picket fence and the second wife you can't stand. You got the job in the house full of fake friends. You got your luxury cars digging you deeper into debt, and your prescription addiction is working for the weekend. Never making any progress. Working for the weekend. Leave it better than you found it. A little bit worse for wear. A little bit scared. A little unprepared. A little too self-aware. You always said it would get better when we're older. Now we're just big kids living in an old man's world. When's it gonna be our turn? Who's to say this is the way it's supposed to work? Or is it just a lesson we never learned? Drowning in an ocean of debt, you swore it paid for itself. Now we can't pay the rent on all the houses you bought for yourself. Trickle down sounds just like swimming upstream.
Thanks again to Austin Durry of the band Durry for joining us tonight on The Sound. To hear more music from Durry, check out Durry on Bandcamp or your favorite streaming service. For more deep dives into local and regional albums, tune into The Sound every Wednesday night at 6, right here on 89.5 KQAL. I'm Bill Stoneberg, and we've just heard from Durry on The Sound. Thanks for listening to The Sound. The Sound is produced by KQAL FM on the campus of Winona State University. Visit us online at kqal.org. Theme music for The Sound provided by Mike Terrell of Fires of Denmark.